I have to admit to being distracted all day long by the potential news from Nvidia, and it was about as good as it gets. I'm sure you know that by now. Meanwhile, Elon was quite chatty on X today, so we have some of those good posts to report on. I'll also have a bit of news and analysis on the woe-begotten Tesla solar business. And I will be talking about what I won't be talking about, rather, is the fact that Putin shot down his ex-Wagner buddy and 9 others. Well, we don't know that for sure. But anyway, I'm not going to be talking about it anyway. This is Randy Kirk. Hit like, subscribe for sure tomorrow afternoon. You are going to want to see, well, it could be 11 o'clock, 11:30 probably California time. I did an interview today with Jeff Lutz, and we covered a whole gamut of stuff. And one of the things that he will discuss with me is his number expectations for the third and fourth quarter, and also whether he agrees with me that we'll get to all-time highs in January. So you're going to want to see all of that. Anyway, and then, of course, you could become part of Patreon. That would really be a cool thing. So let me encourage you to go down below, find that link, and go over to Patreon and join up. Get your free audiobook. Pick your choice of any one of the 4. All right. So NVIDIA, the success today is supposed to be, here's what it's supposed to be, according to everybody out there, a clear indication of the impact that AI is going to have on everything. If you're going to compete in the AI space, you're going to have NVIDIA chips. This is true. Even if you are Tesla making your own specialized chip for Dojo, Elon has made it clear that he has massive orders in for NVIDIA chips. Now then, what does that mean for Tesla? A quick look at the after-hour stock moves, and you can see that the Mag 7, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft joined Tesla in moving up significantly on the NVIDIA news. And they moved about the way that NVIDIA was moving, not 10%, not 7%, but NVIDIA went up and then it came down, then went back up again. Well, Tesla's been kind of following that same pattern. It's been up as much as a couple of percent, and it's been up as much as 1%. I think this will continue in the morning. I think tomorrow will be an up day, even as people anticipate what's going to happen on Friday when the Fed chairman speaks. All right. But Apple and Google didn't follow as much. Well, that's because Apple and Google maybe aren't seen as being as involved, invested in the whole AI thing. I mean, they are, but are they? Anyway, but that I noticed that they didn't go up nearly as much. All right. Maybe you've got an idea in the comments below why Apple and Google didn't go up as much. Well, Tesla is an AI company with a specialization in robotics. Elon has been stressing this. Not an energy company, not a car company, an AI company specializing in robotics. As the investing community gets this, and I think they're beginning to really get it, the stock will respond as it did today with the NVIDIA news. Elon Musk says, this is a completely new story. Elon Musk says that he is now and has driven a Cybertruck production candidate. This is huge. And he posted on X, I think this is our best product ever. And then later on, he was asked, when will we get the specs? When will we get shipment, et cetera, et cetera? And he said, well, pretty much when we're ready to tell you. This is what, so he says, when we're ready to do so, we will. That's the exact quote. Thank you very much, Elon. So, but it's a major milestone that there is now a production candidate. Does that mean that they're in full production? Apparently not. Apparently it's a candidate. I know as a manufacturer, we would have one unit, a lot of times it was the art, sometimes it was an actual bottle. We would put that one up and say, okay, that's what they all should look like. And maybe that's what they use this production candidate for. I'm not 100% sure, but they must be extremely close to going to the next step here. Means it's passed all the tests. It should mean that the handover is near. Some people are saying that this still means it could be by the end of September. Certainly that would be fun and great. It doesn't really matter if it's September, October, but it's just, we're all anxious. We want to hear what the price is going to be. All right. So then Elon also sent out a message to his entire Cybertruck team, stressing that the tolerances on the truck need to be super tight because the way that the truck fits together, the sun's going to be bouncing angles. You're going to have all this light issues going on this stainless steel. It's going to be very, very critical to have these tolerances perfect. He says, hey, if aluminum can people can make their tolerances perfect, you guys can. So anyway, okay, so the Fed chair and his regional heads, they're going to be talking tomorrow and Friday. The Fed chair on Friday. Last year, the Fed chairman came out on this particular Jackson Hole speech and changed everything, did all this hawkish stuff, and everything changed that day. And what he says on Friday is probably going to be important, but I'm hoping, as you've heard me say, maybe if you've been watching the other things I've said the last couple of days, a neutral statement, not hawkish, not dovish, just a neutral statement, I think is the best we can hope for. But you know what? I don't really think it's going to matter that much. What's going to matter is next Thursday when the PCE comes out. If it's under 4%, it was 4.1% year over year last month. If it's under 4%, 3.9, 3.8, the lower it is, the better. If it's under 4%, the bull is fully engaged. If it's 3.5%, who knows what will happen? That's my number. That's the number I think it will come in at. That's what I'm hoping for. It might be hard for it to get that low, but anything under 4%, the market is going to be in the bull, full-on bull. The employment numbers are going to come in from ADP on Wednesday and Friday, and they could matter. If they really are crazy one way or the other, the market will respond. But I think right now it's all going to be up about inflation. If we get the right numbers on Thursday from the Fed, from CPE, then the bonds will drop, the oil will drop. I mean, just everything across the board. And if the employment numbers come in a little light, that will also help the inflation numbers to look better. It will help the oil to drop, et cetera. So all of that next week, Goldilocks, that's what we're looking for. I'll be doing an entire video on that. I think that'll be on tomorrow night or late afternoon in California. Manufacturing PMI came in light, and also services came in light. That was unexpected. And now manufacturing has been light, and the overall PMI, these are the purchasing managers, their analysis of how orders are going right now. Both of those came in light, and they've been coming in light for quite a few months now, and that is unusual. I don't see it affecting the economy yet, but maybe it's going to. So this is one to really watch. I'd be really interested to see what these come in next month. And internationally, worldwide, they came in very light also. So the market liked those readings. All roads seem to point to further disinflation while the economy does okay. The numbers showed weakness, but it's not enough weakness for me yet to say, okay, we got a problem. As long as we have full employment and we have wages going up, I think we're going to be fine. By the way, next Thursday, you also get the wage numbers. And of course, on Friday as well, get two different sets of wage numbers. From the PCE, you get wage numbers in terms of what they're seeing. And then on Friday, you get ADP gets wage numbers. All 3 days, you're going to get different sets of wage numbers. What we're shooting for is around 3% month over month, 4% year over year. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. 2.5% month over month, 3% year over year is where the Fed would like to see it. All right, now let's talk about solar for a minute. So my entire life, I've been running companies that were product oriented. Even now, I'm selling products on Amazon. And when you're selling products and you have diversity of products, and I always had diversity. I had a wholesale distributorship. I had a manufacturing company. I had retail. These are all diverse lines, okay? And what happens is if they're very diverse, you have to have a product champion for every single product category. Sometimes, like with our water bottles, we had to have a product champion for the bicycle industry and a separate product champion for the advertising specialty industry. Completely different kinds of things. So the same thing has got to be true for Tesla. They have such diverse lines now, and going into all these diverse international marketing is way different in Turkey than it is in China, than it is in South America. You have to have all this stuff has to be covered by what I call product champions, people that are passionate about the product, they're passionate about the territory, they're passionate about the folks that they got to sell to, and they burn the boats when they get to the island. They take no prisoners. They're the kind of people that just are so competitive that they can't do anything but win. And I don't think they've ever had that in the solar department. I think that's what they need in the solar department. There may be other categories like insurance and whatnot where they don't have that person either. And I'm not sure whether Elon knows this. So Elon, if you're listening, if anybody knows Elon and they can send him an email, does he have product champions? I'm talking about people that are going to die rather than lose in their category, are going to push so hard on buyers, on customers, on management at Tesla, et cetera, in order to get their product to maximize opportunity. Well, I think that's what's happening with solar. This business today, they've made this change where they're no longer going to be direct installing and using local installers, but where they're going to be dealing with the customers direct. Now they're going to go through the local roofing companies and try to get them to be their lead men. That's a nice switch, and maybe it'll be better than what they've been doing, but it's not the kind of thing I want to see. I want to see somebody stand up and say, we're going to be number one in rooftop solar. And, anybody that doesn't think that better get out of the way, kind of like Elon does. Anyway, that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Okay, so let's go on. Tom Nash. This is the well said department. Tom Nash on X. He's called I Am Tom Nash. Imagine being a legacy OEM and competing with Tesla. Exponential production growth, great margins, massive demand, no debt with plenty of cash, and a bunch of upcoming revenue streams, including the FSD, which will generate 80% gross margins. And he could have gone on and on about semi-truck. He could have gone on and on about Optimus robots. He could have gone on and said, oh, and having a guy at the top of the food chain who takes no prisoners and who burns the boats and who sells like crazy and never dies. Okay, so that's what he could have said, but he said fine. What he said was great. So it's apparently, according to Tom Nash, it's just not fair to the rest of those guys. So right now we got oil down under 79. It was 84 2 weeks ago. We have bond yields down. The 10-year is now under 4.2. It was 4.33 2 days ago. Gold and crypto up, which you'd expect to be in this market. But gold was so beaten down and crypto was so beaten down. Right now, it would be folks that are trying to a bargain shop. So now I want you to be sure you definitely, if you didn't see this video, you got to go check it out. I just did it a couple of hours ago. I'll put a card right up here. This was about that New Yorker article where they talk about Elon Musk having too much power, that the federal government is afraid of him. They're afraid of him having, the on-off switch on things like, I don't know, maybe they want to get their astronauts back from the ISS. And Elon says, well, I just don't want to do that anymore. How are they going to get him home? So Elon is in control of a lot of stuff. And so a lot of people are now becoming beholden to him, not just in the US, but internationally. What does that really mean? I think we probably had more comments and more back and forth than any video we've ever done. I just can't encourage you enough to go take a look at that. This is an important subject. I love Elon. I think he's an amazing guy. But let's face it, he is getting to be extremely powerful. And sometimes power has a funny way of dealing with people. When we talk about the depression that he has right now and the fact that he might be taking some kind of an antidepressant to deal with that, sometimes the depression comes from carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. There's a point at which maybe it's just way too much. Anyway, take a look at the video. It's just short one, like 12, 14 minutes. I think you'll enjoy it. And then tomorrow, I'm reminding you again, Jeff Lutz, he and I cover the gamut. I mean, we talk about so much stuff. So hit the notify button, and in order to hit notify, you do have to be subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed yet, the question is, why not? It really helps the channel. And if you haven't joined Patreon yet, why not? If you're listening to the show every day, maybe you're listening to I'm doing what is it now? there's 4 weeks in a month, and 80 a month. Is that right? No, it's 80 a month, more than 80 videos a month. Maybe you're watching 10 of them or 20 of them. Is that worth $5 a month just to help out? So, I'm not begging here. Honestly, I don't need the money. I have plenty of income, but I'm competitive like Elon, and I think I should be paid for what I do. So pay me. Anyway, Jeff Lutz tomorrow. Go back and take a look at that other one today, and then join Patreon and get your free audio. But this is Randy Kirk. It has been absolutely phenomenal talking to you.